Not gonna lie, boys, I'm tired of the Florida weather. It's sunny outside, but it's still raining. It's sunny, it's raining. Like, make up your mind, Florida. My mission for today, we actually have something very exciting to do. I was sanding the car because I'm prepping it for either wrap or paint, and then it started raining. But regardless, we still have a couple exciting things to install. And one being is we actually have to throw a harness in the MR2 to actually get it running. This thing is 98% done. The only thing that was stopping this car from running was actually this harness right here from Toyota. If you have an MR2 and you want to K-swap it, you can send your stock harness to Toyota and they will modify it. It was pretty pricey. I think I paid $600 for them to splice it and put it together, but honestly I just wanted a professional to do it because I didn't want to run into issues. Now this thing should be ready to throw into the MR2 and get started. So we're gonna throw it in the MR2 and hopefully this rain calms down. It looks like it calmed down a little bit. It looked like it's pushing that way. So now let's actually throw this in the MR2 and let's hope this thing starts on. I'm really excited because I really miss driving this car. Everything's connected up here. Now we're gonna run the wiring underneath the carpet here through the back. Honestly, this is going pretty easy. So far so good. Let's move the harness out of the way. And now we're gonna have to move the carpet out of the way, put it somewhere. This is in the way. This go up, there you go. This goes down here like that. And this, we have to lift the carpet up and we're gonna hide it somewhere in there. So let's do that real quick. I think what I'm gonna do now is I'm actually gonna run the actual tail light wiring through the firewall, which we should have a big hole right here. We're gonna run that next. So we're just gonna shove this in there. Really hard to see, sorry about that, but it's just there's not a lot of room to record. Okay, so we're shoving that in there. All of this has to go back there, so I'm just gonna simply slide it in and hopefully we have some visual of it so we can pull it out. Let's see, and I do not see a single, oh, here it is. There it is. I have no idea how this happened, but this became a very annoying job. As I'm passing the wiring back, this seat is locked into place. I cannot move it forward, so now I have to do all the work through the passenger side and stretch my chicken arms across because I have no way of accessing this because this does not move whatsoever, which is weird. This chair simply just locked itself in place and decided it doesn't want to move anymore. Very frustrating, but we're getting along. We're passing the wires and she's coming along. What a mess, but it's starting to come along. I ran the wiring all the way to the back. I'm currently installing the tail light wiring. I have no idea why Toyota decided to do the tail light harness with the chassis harness, and there we go. She's on there. Now this will come over here. I believe this one's for this. Yes, it is. That's for that tail light. And this one, what is this for? I'm assuming it's for, nope. I have no clue what this goes to. Oh God, should have paid better attention. Let's see. I'm assuming it's for this motor. Yep, it's for this motor. It goes to the back even though it doesn't work. I'm gonna connect it anyways. Gosh, it's a weird angle. There we go. Well, boys, it's time. I ran the harness. She's kind of ran, not perfectly, but I did try to hide most of it. We definitely have to put all the interior back on, but before we do that, I just want to make sure this thing runs. This is the alternator connection right here. I'm gonna wait to install that as well. I just want to see what happens if I put power to it and connect my K Pro. So we're actually gonna steal the ECU from the Civic because I'm going to buy an aftermarket one for this one. So let's take it out of this car, which is a mess. I just got back from a long road trip, and we're gonna steal the K Pro from the Civic, and we're gonna see what happens, man. I'm super excited, a little sad, but excited. Let's do it. And she's out. We have the ECU from the Civic. Let's throw it in the MR2, and let's hope this thing turns over. I'm actually super excited. All right, boys, the ECU's all plugged up. I put the battery in. Let's get the keys and let's see what happens. I have no idea. Haven't turned this car on forever. I'm really nervous, so let's get in here. Don't mind the bare feet, whatever. Let's see what happens. Let's make sure this thing isn't in neutral. She is. Oh gosh, this interior is all over the place. Oh. Oh. Houston, we have a problem. We're actually leaking a lot of fuel. The whole bottom of the floor is now covered in gasoline. I think most of it's actually coming from the fuel filter. So at least when I try to crank it, at least the fuel's coming on and most of it's dumping out. I don't hear the actual starter going on. It's not doing anything. I hear the clicking, but it's not like moving or rotating. I think right now my biggest issue is actually my starter not going on. All right, now we should be able to tell where it's leaking from. Let's see. Okay, yep, stop. Yep, it's all coming from the fuel filter, coming from here and the bottom. Gosh, that's a lot of fuel. At least the fuel pump is working. All right, you can stop it. You can get out now. Oh, boys, I fixed most of my leaks. The only problem I'm having now, it's leaking from this line, and I don't know how to stop it. I've tightened it way too much now. It's not leaking from the bottom. It's not leaking from anywhere here. Now it's just simply leaking there, but we're gonna see if this thing kind of turns over. So go for it, Annabelle. I still need to time. Oh, she wants to. All right, stop. I think the battery is dead, isn't it? This thing is actually so close to actually turning on. What I think I'm going to do is now I'm gonna actually steal my TPS from the Civic. We're gonna put it on here, calibrate it, and we'll see if that turns it on. We also need to fix our fuel issue as well. We need to order some special fittings for the fuel lines, and then this will be fixed. So all I wanna do is really turn it over, and then we'll fix the fuel issue. Yo, I feel so bad stealing from the Civic, but this thing's gonna get a turbo kit soon enough anyways. This thing is not gonna be driving whatsoever. We're gonna daily the MR2. It's so hard to take these off. The radiator is like right there. Here's one. Now we have to take this other bottom one. She is finally on, so now we have to go get the laptop and we have to calibrate it, and this thing should hopefully fire on. Now it's time to calibrate the TPS. We have the computer ready. We're gonna start playing with it, and hopefully this thing will turn over now. All right, boys, first try. The TPS is calibrated now. Let's see what happens. All right, go for it. Hopefully it doesn't leak too bad. Oh, keep going. Wait, hold on. It's not leaking fuel. I think we're good. All right, go for it. Oh, a shot of flame. One more time, go. She wants a fire. Give it a little bit of gas. Even though that doesn't do anything. Oh, first startup. Boys, it's the next day and we're gonna try to actually bleed my MR2. I want to try to bleed it right now before it gets really hot, because apparently these cars are like so hard to bleed. I have the funnel in place. I don't think I'm leaking any more fuel, so we're just gonna try to bleed it and see what happens. Hopefully it doesn't give me a big issue. I have the funnel already. We're gonna throw some water wetter in there as well, and then I have way more coolant over there. So like I said again, apparently these cars are super ridiculously hard to bleed, and we're gonna find out today. So I'm gonna try to do it before it gets even hotter. So let's start bleeding. Let's see how easy this turns on. Oh, let's see. Pretty easy. All right, now we're gonna take this off. Oh no, it's leaking. It's leaking. Let me turn it off. No more leaks. She should be bleeding soon. I'm watching the temperatures with my Hondata app. So we gotta wait for the thermostat to open up. This thing's running really well, surprisingly, like really well. I don't see any more leaks. This thing's running so good. It's actually kind of shocking. Thermostat hasn't opened up yet though. So very cold. Bubbles are starting to come out. This coolant's dirty from the stock radiator. Look at that. Bubbles are coming out. Well, boys, the MR2 finally runs, and I should be getting the final pieces tomorrow to actually daily drive this vehicle. The goal is to daily drive the MR2, and the only thing I'm missing are my axles. So what I'm gonna do is we're actually gonna put you guys in time lapse. We're gonna remove the wheels, remove the stubbies that they have, so when we get everything ready to go tomorrow, we can just stick the axles on this thing, and this thing should be ready to move. So the goal is to actually drive this tomorrow. We're gonna start taking off the wheels. Hopefully they're not too stuck on there. And yeah, we're gonna see if we can drive this bad boy. Boys, is a couple days later from the last clip. It's a very good week. We're waiting on the axles, which should arrive today. As you can see, the car's already taken completely apart. The wheels are off. I took the axle stubbies that we made off, and I loosened pretty much everything, the control arm, so I can actually move it and put my axles in. The only problem is that I don't have an intermediate shaft which connects one of your axles, which, where is it? Right here. So on the passenger side, you are gonna need a intermediate shaft that's gonna connect on the engine, and then it's gonna kind of lengthen the axle, because this is gonna be a short axle, the intermediate shaft, and I don't have one. So we're gonna steal it from the Civic. The Civic's gonna get a upgraded 500 horsepower rated intermediate shaft, so we're taking the OEM one off this one. I'm taking so many parts off the Civic. It's making me feel a little bit bad, but I gotta remember the Civic's getting turbo. This thing's gonna be crazy fast, and all these parts are gonna be upgraded anyways. I took the TPS from this. We took the crank sensor, we took the cam sensors, and now we're gonna take the intermediate shaft. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but what we're gonna do now is steal the intermediate shaft, stick it on the MR2, and then just order a fancy upgraded one for the Civic. And I believe the intermediate shaft is connected to the passenger side as well. Yep, there it is. We're gonna have to unfortunately take the wheel off, remove the axle, and then we should have access to the intermediate shaft. All right, boys, super hot outside, but let's install these axles. I can't be wasting any more time. So let's pull them out. These are from Toyota. We have one here. This, I think, is the driver's side. And then this one should be the passenger side, the one that actually connects to the intermediate shaft. Watch them not require intermediate shafts, or watch it be in here. As far as I know, there is no intermediate shaft in these. You gotta buy them, but let's see. This should be the passenger side one. Yep. Okay, this is the passenger side one. That's the driver's side. So Let's install this one first. Let's do the driver's side one. Hopefully this moves the knuckle just a tad bit. I'm disconnecting the coilover from the actual knuckle. There you go. Hopefully this moves back. Let's see. Yes, perfectly. Okay, so that should be more than enough room to actually allow me to shove the axle inside of the transmission, which you can see there already. We have it right here. And luckily, there's no guessing because you see the new nut right here. This one's actually gonna go right there. All right, now we gotta shove this thing in there. Hopefully we have enough room. I'm hoping we have enough room. Let's find out. We got this side in. Now we just have to put the other side in, but I'm trying to tighten this in just so we don't worry about it. That should be good enough so it doesn't come back out. We finally got one axle in. These axles were so difficult to install. We had to remove the coilover. We have to remove the actual sway bars and sway links. We practically had to remove the actual caliper line as well. You had to remove quite a lot, but she's in. Now I have to put it all back together, and then we got to do the other side, and we should be good to go. So let's finish this. And just like that, one axle is completely in. This was such a pain, but we have to practically release everything to stick these axles on. Now we have to go to the Civic and actually get the intermediate shaft off that, throw it on this thing, and then throw the last axle, and then we're ready to drop this and take it out for the first ever drive. What a pain. Look at that, look at that, cut myself. So we have the intermediate shaft, which is this right here. We just need to remove it from the axle. I'm gonna hit it with a hammer and hopefully this simply comes off. If not, I have no idea how I'm gonna take this off. Actually, let's see. Let's put it there, hit it with a hammer, and hopefully that slides out. I'm gonna put the GoPro down because I need to hold the other side, but yeah, you get the idea. I do not have the man strength to remove the intermediate shaft. It's back here. We're gonna go take it to my friends with man strength. I have chicken arms. Oh no! Let's go get the keys. I forgot them. Got them. Woo! And she's tuned. Yeah, boy! Let's go. Yeah, those axles or an intermediate shaft was not coming off. They had to use an air hammer. My friends at Highlands Automotive got it off for me. So this is the part we're gonna be running on the MR2. This is just a stock axle of the Civic. We're gonna put this back and put this on the MR2. Then we should be able to complete our job. So let's go back home and make another trip. A few minutes later, she is completely on. So now we can finally throw the axle in and finish this job, which I do not feel my hands anymore. Whew, this is annoying. Well, boys, we are officially done. Both axles are finally in the MR2. This was such a pain. The clearance is all right. It's just very difficult to do on your own. We're gonna put this car in gear and hopefully these wheels turn. And then, yeah, we're gonna put it down and get our first drive. I'm super excited, super hot, but this will be worth it if these wheels spin. All right, boys, so let's turn this thing on and let's see, and let's hope the wheels turn. All right, she's a neutral. Ready? Let's put it in gear, clutch in. Is it turning? Woohoo! We got a working car, boys! Look at that, look at that, look at that. Nice. Sweet. Look at that. The axles are working. Let me see the other side. Look at that. I don't see any clearance issue. We got a running, driving MR2. Tomorrow, we're actually going to take it on the road. Well, boys, today is finally the day we are driving the Project MR2. You guys are going to get my first reactions. I've never had a K-swapped MR2. I've never been in one. So this is going to be really new, something really cool for me. I'm used to the K-Series and the Civic, but I'm not used to a rear-wheel drive mid-engine K-Series. This thing should run and drive. The wheels are back on, the axles are on, the transmission has fluid. I mean, this thing is she's ready to rock and roll. So I'm just gonna put the intake pretty briefly. I'm not even gonna tighten it because we're not going for like a very long drive. We're just gonna drive to my friend's local garage, and yeah, man, so super excited. Like I said, the axles are on now. We're not gonna close the lid, we're just gonna leave it briefly open like this, so in case there's a fire. I'm also going to be taking my fire extinguisher because we don't need to be causing any accidents. And it's Friday as well, so I might even title, well, I have the title, I might even register this car and get a tag as well, put out my insurance really quickly on my phone, and so we're legal. So the reason I'm not doing it right away is because I'm actually tempted of dropping this off to get painted now that it runs in drives. And yeah, we're gonna get this thing painted. It's already briefly sanded, and man, I'm super excited. So let's move the Supra out of the way and let's drive this out of here. All right, boys, so let's get a cold start in the Supra. Ooh, she sounds good, man. She sounds good. This thing is so cold. All right, boys, cold start. Oh man, this thing is hot. All right, we're neutral. Cool. Watch it not turn on. Fans are on. She's on. Oh, windows still work. Windows still work. Let's see. Yeah. All right. Cool. Windows work. All right, man. We're ready. I'm nervous, man. We're gonna stick this up there so you guys can see this with me. I'm nervous, boys. I am nervous. Gosh. This thing grabs really hard. Alright, first time moving this thing. Oh man, this feels so weird. Oh dude. Oh gosh. Found my issue. This axle is actually hitting the subframe for some reason. As you can see, it grinded the actual axle quite a bit. This thing needs an alignment badly, and you can clearly see that it's hitting right there. Dang. And I thought I was gonna have some fun too. I have no idea why this thing is hitting or what I'm supposed to do to even, you know, change the alignment. But it's hitting, unfortunately. So man, that's horrible. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Please do not judge me for this. But the problem we were having is not only is my coilover blown, so I ended up putting like some spring boosters, as you can see right there. It lifted the rear just a tad bit, and now we have no clearance issues. Very close, but it's not causing any problems. We definitely need an alignment as well to push the axle a little bit more that way, but this should be drivable now as long as those spring boosters don't come out. The next problem we're having is I can't really reach the actual clutch pedal because the seat somehow got stuck. It's like literally stuck. It won't move forward. I need to scoot it up just a tad bit longer so I can actually reach the pedal. So now my mission is to play with the pedal and hopefully get this thing to scoot up forward, because this is such a pain, and we definitely need to scoot it a little bit more because I can't reach the pedal. I'm way too short. This is scooted way too back. So let's mess with this and then we'll go for a test drive. All right, boys, I'm ready for round two. Whew. The axle has a tiny bit of clearance, enough to like hopefully get me to my friend's garage so they can look at it and tell me what I need to order. I'm really nervous. I'm tired because I was underneath the car hammering and putting doing spring boosters and a whole bunch of other nonsense that I don't like using. But I'm nervous now. I didn't think I was gonna have clearance issues. I'm definitely gonna have to pay attention. I have the fire extinguisher. We're gonna turn this on and go for round two, and hopefully this round comes out pretty well. All right, let's see. We are neutral. Turn it on. I also moved the seat quite a bit, so now I'm able to actually reach the pedals. But now I'm just nervous, so we'll see. Yo, we're moving! This clutch is so touchy. I haven't driven this car in forever, bro. This clutch is so touchy. I'm nervous. Why all the pedals are like really, oh gosh. All the pedals are like really weird. I gotta get used to the pedals. I'm not used to the pedals. Like they're so, like the clutch is so grabby and the gas is so hard. It's like hard. There we go. There we go. I think I just gotta get used to it. Dude, this is moving. Ah, this is so cool, man. I'm like so nervous right now. But and I don't, my tachometer doesn't work, so I don't know when to shift. So I'm just gonna have to listen. That sounds like to the second gear. Oh my gosh. The shifter's amazing though. Holy cow. What's up? Oh man, this feels awesome. First drive was successful. I'm here at the tag office. I'm just gonna tag this thing because I'm gonna be driving it anyways. And yeah, I don't want to get pulled over and get in trouble. So I'm actually gonna go in here, tag this thing, and hopefully it's not too expensive. I think I brought my card. If not, I'll just pay with Apple Pay. But we're going in there and we're gonna tag this thing. Car is now insured. I forgot my wallet. So we're gonna go back home and we're gonna get my wallet so we can put a brand new tag on this thing. It has insurance now. This thing is running super cool, like almost if like the thermostat was open. I know this has a full-size radiator, but holy cow, this thing's running 166 Fahrenheit. Not even remotely close to the 200s. So I don't know, man. I find it a little weird how this thing is not like overheating or anything, but she's running good, she's running cold. Well, boys, it's a few days later, but the MR2 is finally running so beautiful. The last time you saw this car, it still had a couple issues. It had a header dump, and we were fixing coolant issues. All the coolant issues are officially done. On top of that, we finally have an exhaust. So let me show you my brand new exhaust. I took this to the exhaust shop this morning, and they finally welded something on. So as you can see, if we put you down here, you'll be able to see the pipe that goes into the stock header. And that stock header, it's connected to two dual exhausts, or two dual tips, or two dual mufflers. I don't know what you guys want to call this. This thing is running beautifully. It sounds awesome. Let me show you a sound clip of the brand new exhaust. This thing sounds ridiculous. It sounds really good. She sounds so good, man. She feels so good, she's driving so good, she sounds so good. I'm falling in love with this car right now. Like, I really do love this car. So mission for today is we're finally gonna finish the car and get it ready for tuning. What we're going to do is we're finally going to get our wideband installed. We actually got this in today. We're gonna get our wideband installed. We're gonna hook it up to our K-Pro so the K-Pro knows exactly what's going on. And then we'll make an appointment for the tuner, take it to the tuner, and hopefully this thing makes around I'm hoping for 220, 222, we will see. Hopefully the stock manifold is not super restrictive. I apologize for the wind, but let's quickly just go over everything that this kit comes with. First, we actually have our wideband gauge. We have a new faceplate, so if you want to change it white, you can change it white. I think I'm going to keep mine black. I like the black look a little bit more. It comes with the wideband sensor, the bung to actually connect your wideband sensor to your exhaust. We're going to use the stock location, so we're not going to weld this on. We have the actual connector for power, ground, and signal. We're not using the blue, we're only doing white, which is signal, red, which is power, and black, which is ground. This is the actual connector to the actual sensor, so this is going to plug into your gauge and to your sensor so it reads everything accurately, and that's about it. So I think the first thing we're going to do is we're going to find a location for that gauge, and then we can route everything where it's supposed to go. Well, first thing we need to do is we need to look around, see exactly where we want to mount this. I was originally going to mount it here, but because the stock location for the widebands on the passenger side, I think I'm now gonna put it here. I'm gonna buy one of those double DIN or single DIN gauge pod holders, and just have it running here. So I think this is what I'm gonna do. On top of that, I'm gonna actually splice into the cigarette lighter, so it's just gonna be a lot easier just to do it somewhere here. So because I kind of decided I'm gonna run my gauge pod right here, or my gauge right there, we're gonna remove the center console, which is not bolted on, and we're gonna run the wirings through the center console piece. So center console is officially out. We're gonna run the wiring through here. Now I think we're gonna be running it through the shifter cable hole, which is gonna be kind of easy. Now in order to gain access to the lighter port or behind it so we can splice into it, we're gonna be taking our center console off, which in this car is pretty easy. It's simply 2 screws right here on the very bottom of this ashtray, and once you remove the 2 screws, it should be just a pulling thing. There you go. So all we do is pull. This one I accidentally put it behind, which is weird, but there we go. Simple as that. This thing is out. Now we should have access to everything back here. Let's remove the emergency light and the actual lighter port, which is a little hard to see, but I think all we do is pull. I think. Let me see. I can't really see back here, but yeah, it seems like just a pulling thing. There we go. And now this can be put to the side. Now we have access to this, and I don't see a power. One is black and white and the other one is gray. So I'm gonna ask my friends to tell me which one's the power, because I don't want to mess this up. I'm actually going to be using a ring terminal for the ground. We're gonna put in the ring terminal and then crimp it together and then heat it up. And that should be pretty good. And then we're just gonna find a ground in the back of the actual dash, which should be pretty easy. You see a whole bunch of metal bars. We're just gonna yeah, screw it in one of those, and that should be pretty much it for the ground. So let me do it and then I'll show you. I actually found my ground behind the dashboard. You're gonna see a small hole right there with the screw. I'm actually gonna use that as my ground. So we finally found my ground, and we also found the power. So it turns out for the cigarette lighter ports, we have a white and black one, and then we have a simple gray one. The gray one is the power. What I ended up doing is I actually shoved this in there and it turned the gauge on, so we know that's the power. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna splice into it. Unfortunately, this harness does not reach there because the ground is not close enough. So, well, I guess I could also put it here. Let me see if I can find another ground, because that one back there's a little bit too far. Maybe we should be able to use a different one. Maybe this one. I don't even know if it's screwable. So yeah, we're just gonna use that back one to make things simple, and we're gonna make an extension out of this little red wire here, and we're gonna splice into it, and hopefully she turns on. Now we need to run our wideband wiring through the firewall. So this one right here is going to plug to the back of your gauge. Most of this is going to be hidden anyways. I don't have a radio, so I don't really care. And the center console is going to be hiding that as well. So this right here, this will plug into the back of there. This is going to be all the signals coming in from the wideband. Be very careful because you can bend these pretty easily. So take your time, make sure they're going in the right way, and don't mess it up. But once you put them in the correct spot, they should just slide in just like so. There we go. Now we need to run this wiring. I think I'm gonna run it through the bottom of this, right here through the side, and then push it through the firewall. So should be pretty easy. Oh, well, boys, hopefully you made it to the very end of the video. I was editing the video and then I'm like, holy cow, I didn't even have an outro. So now I have an outro. I added it. Well, I'm doing it right now, so hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. This is the longest video I've ever made. It's about almost 40 minutes. And next video you're about to see, so maybe, hopefully later this week, we're gonna take the car to get tuned. So, super excited. If you made it to the very end of the video, please comment down below and let me know. I wanna know how many people are actually enjoying the longer videos. If you enjoy shorter videos, we'll do shorter videos. So hopefully you guys made it to the very end. I appreciate and love every single one of you that supports, and I'll see you guys next time.